but it still didn't make sense how these Saiyans learned so quickly. They had only ever trained their base forms before meeting the Universe 7 Saiyans. Sure, they were from different universes and had completely different ways of living. However, this again? It was difficult enough dealing with it back then. Vegeta could feel the uncontrollable energy building up. He had to click subscribe, and Kale was again going berserk. He remembered the first time clearly. Kaba shook his head. Clearly he knew something was keeping it a secret. He knew how quick it was to turn on the notifications. It was quicker than the Universe 6 Saiyans could learn to go Super Saiyan. Vegeta looked across the stage to see the shy girl Kaba had introduced him to earlier, but she was completely different now. All she had to do was watch the stories of her favorite animes to the very end like the anime fan for her body to transform. The huge gain in muscle, her hair turned green, the feeling of the wild energy she couldn't control. It was unlike anything he had ever felt before. Could this be a Saiyan's true form? Vegeta was unsure if he should feel proud and amazed to see the potential of this Saiyan race, or if he should feel endangered and angry. The three were practically babies, and at this rate, they would surpass him in only a matter of days. Now watching Kale go berserk a second time, a strange thought came to Vegeta. The secret behind their quick learning curve was starting to make sense. He almost laughed at how weak he had been back then. At that time, Super Saiyan was nothing but a legend. They had a base form and that was it. But then the theories of the legend were proven correct, and a never-ending race to beat his rival began. Goku had become the first Super Saiyan Vegeta had seen in person. But similar to what the three Saiyans from Universe 6 were doing to him now, there would one day be another person that would surprise Vegeta even more than Goku ever could. He had protected the world and shocked everyone he knew. Vegeta shook with awe as Gohan's power level continued to rise. Would it ever stop? The electricity around his body almost brought tears to Vegeta's eyes. It had now been proven that Super Saiyan could go further. His race was truly amazing. Gohan had learned to break the limits of the transformation. He had gone Super Saiyan 2, and even more amazing was that he was only a child, the same as the Universe 6 Saiyans he was watching now. But this wouldn't be the last time Gohan would surpass everyone Vegeta knew. Through very intense training, it had been proven that every transformation was achievable by all Saiyans. But what Gohan had now learned was something unique to only him. Through his time spent with the Kais, Gohan was able to have a very special power. His potential had been unlocked, and what was so impressive was that Gohan was still in his base form. The memory of his first time meeting Kaba came rushing to him. The confusion on Kaba's face when he saw Super Saiyan. It was something he didn't even know existed. He only knew his base. The Super Saiyan level had been shown time and time again to get stronger than thought possible. But with great power comes stronger enemies. And Vegeta remembered when the strongest enemy of all had decided to show his face on Earth. Beerus was searching for the Super Saiyan God, something that was only a legend, like the original Super Saiyan had once been long ago. It was time to make this legend a reality as well. And so Goku used the power of 5 other Saiyans to create the Super Saiyan God Beerus had been looking for. Vegeta of course craved this new power, as any Saiyan would, including those from a different universe. There had to be a way to learn this transformation without the need of other Saiyans. But no matter how much training he did, this form seemed impossible. However, Goku was now able to go Super Saiyan God all on his own. Was it only because he had learned it before? Maybe there was no way to learn it without having 5 other Saiyans to push you there first. But then Whis gave Vegeta the most amazing piece of advice. He pointed out that Vegeta had been making his physical body alone stronger all these years, and no amount of physical training would put him on the level of the gods. The key was controlling his ki. No one had ever pointed this out to him. He needed to train in his base, the same Kaba and the others had been forced to do their entire life, and the only person to train him in this way would be Whis. He traveled to Beerus' planet and began to learn how to become strong in the same way Gohan had, in his base form. And once Goku joined the fun, Whis began to notice something. He had never asked them to train without transforming. They had decided to train in their base all by themselves. And when the Tournament of Power came along, Gohan wanted to become as powerful as them again. He had a craving for knowledge that he shared with the other Saiyans from the other universe. Vegeta wondered if Gohan would eventually go past everyone again. Clearly it was easier for their children to learn at a much faster rate, and this reminded Vegeta of his own son. Even as a young child, Trunks had learned to fly and power up, and through fusion, him and Goten had even achieved Super Saiyan 3. But Vegeta started to understand that being a child wasn't really what made Gohan, Trunks, and Goten learn so fast. He had also learned from his father, but still Super Saiyan hadn't been seen for so many generations that no one knew if it was even real or not anymore. Vegeta realized that he actually had something in common with these boys, and all 4 of them had something in common with Universe 6 Saiyans. Goku had been the outlier, the one to start it all. His amazing ability had made him the one to break all the limits, but from there, it was only a matter of time before the rest of the living Saiyans could find this level as well. Just by seeing it, they were able to apply the same techniques. This was the art of evolution. Learning something for the first time was always the hard part, but when someone could understand, then they could explain it, and others could learn it instantly. And now Vegeta suppressed a smile as Kale regained control of her berserker form. These three had grown so amazingly strong in such a short amount of time, but it still didn't make sense how these Saiyans learned so quickly. They had only ever trained their base forms before meeting the Universe 7 Saiyans. Sure, they were from different universes and had completely different ways of living. However, Kaba had proven his strength to Vegeta the first time they had fought, and when Kaba showed the immense power of his Super Saiyan 1, Vegeta realized something. The base form of the Saiyans of Sadala had to be much stronger than the base he had before he ever found planet Earth in Goku. It was just like how it had been easier for Vegeta and the boys to learn their forms much quicker. These three from Universe 6 had trained their base to a level that Goku's base had been by the time he learned Super Saiyan 3. Now Vegeta understood. With a base of that strength already, it wasn't hard at all for them to learn it very quickly, to reach those same levels easily. Vegeta now could see the only difference between the Saiyans from Universe 7 and Universe 6. They had trained backwards. One had trained their forms before training their base. The other had trained their base and then worked on their forms. To reach the most powerful level possible, Saiyans had to train both base and transformations. It didn't matter in which order. And once one person could learn it and explain it to others, each level could be achieved much easier than before and at a much quicker pace. Goku had quite the pair of opponents to deal with, especially as weak as he still was. And now that Vegeta understood how these girls could learn so quickly, he feared for Goku even more. But Vegeta had his own problems to deal with. Toppo had gotten the idea that he could actually block him from Jiren, but Vegeta wasn't fazed. He was quick to explain to Toppo that he was at the top of the Saiyan power level scale. To get the real fight he was craving, all he had to do now was get rid of this small obstacle. The memories filled him with the need for more power. Jiren had pushed Goku to his ultimate limit. Watching an Ultra Instinct Goku made Vegeta want to fight Jiren that much more. He too wanted to get pushed past his limits and become stronger than ever before. But this time, he set his goals higher. To surpass Goku is all he had ever wanted, but all he could ever do was become his equal, which could only mean he would one day be Ultra Instinct Vegeta. But what he really wanted was to focus on himself only. This Ultra Instinct power was amazing, that much was true, but for Vegeta,